Welcome everyone to PodX Studio.
Great to be here.
If you're tuning in for the first time, or maybe you're joining us again, get ready. We're embarking on a really captivating historical journey today.
We are indeed.
We're diving deep into the foundational aspects of modern Indian history, trying to paint a vivid picture, of a really crucial period. Think of it as episode 2 of our deep dive into the powerful forces that reshape the whole subcontinent.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how we'll unpack the complexities. It's a time marked by really significant shifts in power.
Right.
You have the decline of this, once mighty empire, and then the surprising emergence of new, vibrant forces.
Yeah.
And we're not just going to, list facts. We want to weave these developments into a compelling conversational story. Help you connect the dots.
Exactly. Prepare for some real aha moments, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll explore the dramatic succession struggles, intense political intrigue,
Oh, yeah.
and the rise of these regional powers that really define this whole era.
Absolutely.
Our story begins shortly after 1707. The Mughal Empire, once this absolute colossus, is now showing unmistakable signs of, dissolution.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, the death of Emperor Aurangzeb in 1707, it wasn't just the end of one reign.
Yeah.
It ushered in an era of, frankly, remarkably weak and often ineffective successors. These later emperors were easily manipulated by their ministers, leading to what our sources call a fragmented polity. This internal weakness, this fracturing of central authority, it basically laid the groundwork for everything that followed.
And what followed was, immediate chaos, right? A fierce battle for the throne.
Instantly.
Right after Aurangzeb's death, his 3 surviving sons, Muazzam, Azam, and Kambakhsh, they just plunged into this brutal war of succession.
A clear sign the old order was crumbling.
Definitely.
It was Muazzam who ultimately triumphed, though. He decisively defeated Azam at Jajjo in 1707,
Right.
and then Kambakhsh near Hyderabad in 1708. With those victories, Muazzam ascended the Mughal throne as Bahadur Shah I.
But he was already 65, right? An elderly man when he took power.
He was.
And famously nicknamed Shahi Bekabar. What does that mean again?
The ignorant king. It's what the historian Kafi Khan called him.
The ignorant king. Okay, so not exactly known for his hands-on leadership. But despite that dismissive title, he did try a different approach, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Despite the nickname, Bahadur Shah, I actually pursued a policy of compromise. Conciliation, really.
With who?
He made efforts to reconcile with powerful groups like the Rajputs, Marathas, Bundelas, Jats, and Sikhs. He even made peace with Guru Gobind Singh.
Okay.
And he released Shahu, Sambhaji's son, from captivity, granted him the right to collect Sardeshmukhi, that's the additional 10% levy in the Deccan.
But not Chauth. I remember that being important.
Exactly. Not Chauth, which was the 1/4 revenue share to avoid raids. And that distinction, it meant Maratha dissatisfaction kind of kept simmering beneath the surface.
Ah, okay. So he tried to patch things up, but his reign still saw this significant deterioration in administration. What was going on behind the scenes?
Well, his reign was marked by these really lavish grants of jagirs, the land assignments nobles got instead of cash salaries.
Right. Jagirs.
And excessive promotions. This created a huge financial strain. But maybe most crucially, during his time, the whole contest for power fundamentally shifted.
How so?
It moved from being a struggle between the royal princes, for the throne, to a much more dangerous battle among the nobles themselves. They became direct aspirants for immense power behind the throne.
That's a critical shift.
Wow.
The stability of the empire now rested on, the whims of these powerful individuals.
Pretty much.
So after Bahadur Shah's death in 1712, predictably, another war of succession among his 4 sons.
Here we go again.
Right. It was Jahandar Shah who eventually came out on top, largely with the help of this powerful Irani noble, Zulfikar Khan. He became his wazir as prime minister.
And Jahandar Shah, he adopted a more liberal attitude towards Hindus. He even abolished the jizya tax, that poll tax on non-Muslims.
Trying to shore up support.
Exactly. An attempt to strengthen the empire by, getting broader support.
And Zulfikar Khan, he tried to stabilize the empire's really shaky finances, didn't he? How did that go? And what did it mean for ordinary people?
Well, he did try. He attempted to improve finances by curbing the reckless growth of jagirs and offices, tried to make the mansabdars maintain their troop quotas.
Okay.
But his big change was introducing the really harmful ijara system, revenue farming.
Revenue farming. Okay, break that down. Why was it so harmful?
Right. So under the Ijara system, the government stopped dealing directly with the peasants. Instead, they optioned off the right to collect revenue from an area to middlemen, the revenue farmers.
Okay.
These guys paid a fixed amount to the government, but then they were basically free to squeeze whatever they possibly could from the peasants.
Oh, wow. So the pressure just got passed down and amplified.
Yeah, massively. It severely oppressed the peasantry. Their lives got much, much harder as these farmers just squeezed them for every last coin. It really set the stage for decline.
Yeah, you can see how that would undermine everything.
Yeah.
Jahandar Shah's reign was short-lived, though.
Very. He was defeated and killed by his nephew, Farrukh Siyar, with crucial help from the Sayyid brothers.
Ah, the famous Sayyid brothers, Abdullah Khan and Hussein Ali Khan.
That's them. Abdullah became wazir, Hussein Ali became Mir Bakshi.
And they became the true power behind the throne, earning that incredible title, kingmakers. How did they manage that? How did they wield such immense power? Was it military strength? Alliances?
It was really a combination of things. Military prowess, definitely shrewd political maneuvering, and a whole network of alliances, especially with powerful Rajput and Maratha chiefs.
Right.
And they consistently pursued policies of religious tolerance. For instance, during Farrukh Siyar's reign, that's 1713 to 1719, they abolished both the jizya and pilgrimage taxes.
So that helped build support.
Yeah, broaden their base.
This period also saw these truly foundational interactions with the English East India Company.
Crucial interactions.
Yeah, the company got major trading privileges like exemption from custom duties in Bengal. But even more instrumentally, they got permission to purchase 38 villages around Calcutta.
The farmman.
That farming, yeah. It proved absolutely instrumental in the British colonization later on. A seemingly small concession with just massive future implications.
Precisely. It's one of those moments you look back on. But Farrukh Siyar himself, despite being put on the throne by the Sayyids, he tried to challenge their authority.
And how did that end for him?
Badly. He was eventually killed by the Sayyid brothers with Maratha help, and this was pivotal, really unprecedented.
Why?
It was the first time a Mughal emperor was killed by his own nobles. It just shattered any remaining illusion of the emperor's divine right or absolute power.
Wow. The game had totally changed.
Yeah.
So after this dramatic event in 1719, the Sayyid brothers, the kingmakers, they quickly installed two more short-lived emperors.
Puppet emperors, really?
Right. Before placing Roshan Akhtar, who took the title Muhammad Shah, on the throne, he was known for being pleasure-seeking.
That's putting it mildly. He got the nickname Ranjila, which means the colorful one.
Ranjila. Okay. But his time also saw some cultural development. Khayal music, Urdu language.
It did, yeah. Not entirely without cultural impact. And the Sayyid brothers, they continued their policies. Religious tolerance, alliances with Rajputs and Marathas. They even granted Shahu Shivaji Swaraj the right to autonomous rule and the right to collect both Chauth and Sardeshmukhi in 6 Deccan provinces.
Okay, so strengthening ties with the Marathas.
Yes, but they faced constant court rivalries, conspiracies from within the Mughal nobility, plus a dwindling financial position, which led to, indiscipline among their own soldiers.
So what does this all mean for the empire's stability? Were the kingmakers starting to lose their grip?
They absolutely were. You had powerful, hostile nobles united under Nizam-ul-Mulk. He was from the Turani party, that Central Asian faction.
Right, in the Deccan.
Yeah. They began to assert themselves, and this coalition was actually backed by Muhammad Shah himself, who desperately wanted to free himself from the Sayyids' control.
Understandable, I guess. So the tide turned.
Swiftly. In 1720, Hussein Ali was killed by rebellious nobles. Abdullah Khan died in 1722 after being defeated. That was basically the end of the Sayyid brothers' kingmaker rule.
But did that restore central authority?
What?
Or just create more chaos?
More chaos, unfortunately. Despite Muhammad Shah Ranjila having this remarkably long reign, 1719 to 1748.
Long time.
Yeah, but he was just a poor, pleasure-loving ruler, loose morals, fickle-mindedness, his inability, his lack of interest in actually governing, it led key ministers like Nizam-ul-Mulk to just pursue their own ambitions.
No, Nizam-ul-Mulk.
He gave up his office in 1724, headed south, and founded the state of Hyderabad, basically broke away. And similarly, Sadat Khan carved out the state of Oudh. Murshid Qali Khan became virtually independent in Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa.
So the empire wasn't just weakening. It was actively fracturing. Key ministers were literally peeling off huge chunks of territory.
Exactly, redrawing the map themselves.
The once unified Mughal map just dissolving. And this weakened empire then received, a fatal blow?
Pretty much. The Maratha Peshwa Baji Rao boldly raided Delhi itself in March 1737.
Raided Delhi.
Yeah. Exposing the empire's profound weakness for everyone to see. It was like a glaring invitation.
An invitation for whom?
For external powers. It made India look like a very tempting target.
And what happened next? This really set the stage for irreversible decline, didn't it? Nadir Shah.
Nadir Shah, yes, the Persian monarch, attracted by India's, legendary wealth.
Fabulous wealth, yeah.
And seeing this weak Mughal rule, he saw an easy target. Plus, the disunity among the Mughal nobles, that was just an added advantage for it. Invasion. The two armies met at the Battle of Karnal in 1739. It was a crushing defeat for the Mughals. Emperor Muhammad Shah himself was taken prisoner.
The emperor. Yes. Nadir Shah then marched on Delhi and unleashed just a brutal plunder. Emptied the royal treasury.
Took the Kohinoor diamond.
Took the Kohinoor, Shah Jahan's magnificent peacock throne. Collected over 70 crore from officials and nobles. An absolutely astonishing amount.
70 crore. That's unimaginable wealth.
And it wasn't just the wealth, His invasion fundamentally shattered the myth of Mughal invincibility.
The psychological blow.
Exactly. It reverberated for decades, signaled to every regional power, every foreign contender that the empire was, open for business if you had a strong enough army. The illusion of absolute power just died.
Right, and they lost territory too.
Crucially, yes, strategically important territory west of the Indus, including Kabul. This made India terribly vulnerable to future invasions from the northwest again.
So the empire stripped of wealth, its image shattered. What happened to the emperors who followed? Could they turn things around?
Sadly, no. The decline just kept going. Ahmed Shah Bahadur reigned 1748 to 1754. His time saw bitter struggles among power-hungry nobles.
Or infighting.
Constantly. He just couldn't cope with the disintegrating forces. Left state affairs largely to his mother, Udam Bai, and her paramour, Javid Khan.
Not exactly strong leadership.
Not at all. And the weakened northwest defenses, that just encouraged Ahmad Shah Abdali.
Another invader.
Yes, from Afghanistan. He invaded twice, 1749 and 1752. The emperor, desperate to buy peace, actually ceded Punjab and Multan to Abdali.
Gave away provinces just to save Delhi.
Pretty much. Didn't save him, though. Ahmad Shah was eventually blinded and deposed.
Grim. Then came Alamgir II, 1754 to 1759. And things got even worse.
Dramatically worse. Imagine this. The empire's military and financial position collapsed so badly that royal troops actually resorted to selling articles from the houses of the wazirs and nobles just to get by.
Selling furniture from the ministers' houses, that's desperate.
It paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? Utter collapse. Ahmad Shah Abdali plundered Delhi again in 1757.
Of course he did.
And crucially, the Battle of Plassey, that huge turning point for British power, was fought during Alamgir II's short reign.
Right, Plassey, 1757.
And Alamgir II himself, later murdered by his wazir.
It just doesn't stop. Next was Shah Alam II, 1760 to 1806, the fugitive emperor.
That's him, because he literally wandered for 12 years before he could even set foot back in his own capital, Delhi.
12 years on the run, a stark symbol of the collapse.
Totally. In 1764, he made this crucial alliance with Mir Qasim of Bengal and Shuja Udala of Awadh. They faced the British at the Battle of Buxar. Defeated, their combined forces were beaten.
And this defeat led to the landmark Treaty of Allahabad in 1765. Why was this treaty so important?
Monumentally important. It granted the British the Diwani rights over Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar.
Diwani rights?
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
It means the British now had the legal right to collect and administer all the civil revenues from these incredibly rich provinces.
So they became the government, effectively, collecting the taxes.
Essentially, yes. De facto government in those areas, a massive step towards full colonization of India.
Wow. And Shah Alam II.
He later ruled under Maratha protection, Maratha suzerainty, from 1771 to 1803. Then the British captured Delhi in 1803, and the Mughal emperor became their mere pensioner, paid off by the British.
Just a figurehead receiving a pension?
Exactly. The power was now truly with the British. Then you had Akbar II, 1806 to 1837. He's famous for giving the title Raja to Ram Mohan Roy, the social reformer.
Right.
And a really telling sign of the times. Mughal coins stopped bearing the emperor's names in 1835. Complete loss of sovereignty symbolized right there.
No name on the money anymore.
Nope.
And the final chapter, Bahadur Shah II, 1837 to 1857. Zafar.
Bahadur Shah Zafar, yeah. with his pen name Zafar. He tragically became the symbolic face of the revolt of 1857.
The Great Uprising, yeah.
After its defeat, he was deported to Rangoon, died there in 1862. That marked the legal and de facto end of Mughal rule. Queen Victoria's proclamation in 1858 made it official.
The end of an era. A long, slow, painful decline.
Absolutely. But as the once unshakable Mughal Empire was dissolving into chaos, another power was simultaneously rising in the Deccan, ready to fill that vacuum.
Right. Let's shift focus now to the remarkable resurgence of the Marathas, a story of ambition, innovation, running parallel to and often directly influencing that Mughal decline.
A fascinating counterpoint.
We pick up their story after the great Shivaji, with his elder son, Sambhaji.
Right. Sambhaji actually supported Akbar II, that rebellious son of Aurangzeb. But in 1689, Aurangzeb captured and executed Sambhaji.
Did that stop the Marathas?
Quite the opposite. It didn't quell them, it ignited this furious, widespread rebellion among their chiefs. Set the stage for decades of conflict.
Okay, so who followed Sambhaji?
Rajaram succeeded with ministerial help, but he also had to flee, went to Jinji, when the Mughals captured his wife and son, Shahu.
So Shahu was captured as a child.
Yes, and Rajaram was eventually succeeded by his minor son, Shivaji II, who ruled under the guardianship of his formidable mother, Tarabai.
Tarabai. Yeah. Okay, so that sets up an internal struggle, doesn't it? With Shahu still alive but captive.
It does, exactly, because in 1707, Shahu was released by the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah.
Ah, the Mughals trying to stir up trouble.
Precisely, a strategic move to create internal dissension among the Marathas. And it worked. It immediately triggered a civil war between Shahu and Tarabai.
Who won?
Shahu ultimately defeated Tarabai at the Battle of Khed. Crucially, with the help of a Chitpavan Brahmin named Balaji Vishwanath.
Balaji Vishwanath. Remember that name.
Yes, this led to the establishment of the Kolhapur royal house, representing Tarabai's line. But Shahu, based in Satara, was now the main Maratha ruler.
And Shahu's reign saw this significant transformation. The rise of the Peshwas.
Yes, the unprecedented rise of the Peshwas, originally the chief ministers, and the evolution of the Maratha kingdom into an empire based on a confederacy principle.
Okay, explain that confederacy principle. How did it work? What made it unique?
Well, the Peshwas, originally called Pant Pradhan, responsible for finance and general admin, they effectively became the de facto prime ministers, centralizing power in Pune.
Right.
But the various powerful Maratha chiefs, like the Scindias, Holkars, Gaekwads, Bansals, maintained significant autonomy in their own regions.
Ah, so it was centralized leadership but decentralized power.
Kind of, yeah. It allowed for widespread expansion. Individual Maratha chiefs conquered and administered vast territories, but theoretically they remained loyal to the Peshwa and the Maratha king, Shahu.
Interesting structure.
Yeah.
How did they manage their empire? Particularly their revenue system. Was it different from the Mughals?
It was distinctive, yeah. A blend of Mughal and Deccani practices. Land was meticulously classified: paddy fields, garden lands, hilly tracts, measured by a rod called a lafi.
Okay.
And Shivaji had shrewdly reduced the power of those traditional village officials, the Deshmukhs and Kulkarnas. He appointed his own revenue officials called Karkruns, aiming for more direct control.
More direct than the Mughals, maybe.
Potentially. And importantly, revenue farming, that Ijara system we talked about being so damaging.
Yeah.
That was actually discouraged by the Marathas initially.
Good move. And then there are those famous levies, Chauth and Sardishmukhi.
The keys to their financial muscle.
Oh.
Chauth, 1/4 of the revenue demanded from neighboring territories to basically avoid Maratha raids. Protection money, essentially.
Right.
And Sardishmukhi, that additional 10% levy on lands where Marathas claimed hereditary rights as sort of overlords.
So a complex system generating significant income. By the mid-18th century, the Marathas were really powerful, weren't they? Aspiring to rule North India.
Absolutely. They even became kingmakers in the Mughal court for a time, stepping into that void left by the Sayyid brothers.
So this raises an important question. What stopped them? Why didn't the Marathas become the next great pan-Indian empire, replacing the Mughals?
That is the critical question, isn't it? It's fascinating. A power so adept at exploiting external weakness, like the Mughals, ultimately struggled to overcome its own internal divisions. Their ambitions took a massive hit with the crushing defeat in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761.
Panipat against Abdali.
Against Ahmad Shah Abdali, yes. A huge blow to their military might and prestige. And then the subsequent death of the very capable Peshwa Madhavara I in 1772, that gravely weakened the Peshwa's control over the Confederacy.
Ah, so the center couldn't hold.
Exactly. The internal quarrels among the Maratha chiefs often just outweighed any sense of unity. They'd unite sometimes, sure, but more often they squabbled among themselves.
Fighting each other instead of consolidating.
Precisely. And that significantly contributed to the empire's weakening from within. Especially dangerous as a new, more unified external power, the British began its ascent.
The timing was terrible for them, really.
It was. Just a quick note on some key figures within that Peshwa system.
Yeah, please.
The first Peshwa is considered Sonpat Dalbir. Morpint Triambak Pingal assisted Shivaji himself. And also notable is Ramchandra Pant Amatya, who wrote the Ajnapatra, a royal edict on Maratha policy principles. Gives us great insight.
Okay, good to know. What a journey we've taken today.
It really has been.
From the dramatic, slow decline of the mighty Mughals marked by all that internal feuding and those devastating external assaults to the powerful rise and then the eventual fragmentation of the Maratha power. We've really seen how internal struggles and external pressures just constantly reshaped the Indian subcontinent, creating power vacuums, filling them.
Yeah, the story of modern Indian history, especially this period, it's one of constant flux.
Yeah.
Empires waning, new powers emerging, the very fabric of the subcontinent being rewoven time and time again.
And understanding this foundational period, it feels absolutely key to grasping the complexities of India's path forward, right? To appreciate the dynamic forces that shape the region we see today.
Definitely. And this period powerfully illustrates how power vacuums, they can lead to both immense opportunity for new forces to rise.
Like the Marathas initially.
Right. But simultaneously, they create increased vulnerability to external threats like Nadir Shah or Abdali, and to those internal divisions we talked about. It's a profound lesson that really echoes through history.
Yeah. So maybe something for you, our listeners, to consider. How do the lessons of fragmented power and the consequences of weak leadership from this era, how do they continue to echo? In various forms, across history, and maybe even today, in political and societal structures around the world.
A fascinating thought.
We really hope this deep dive into modern Indian history has given you some clarity and maybe sparked your curiosity even more.
Hope so.
If you found this discussion insightful, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe to PodX Studio for more captivating insights like this,
Please do.
and don't forget to ring that notification bell icon. That way you'll never miss a new deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring the vast ocean of knowledge.
See you next time.